back to the local districts for their distribution to their charities of their choice. However, some of the money from districts where we don't have locals or money that is left unclaimed during the year reverts back to the Florida professional firefighters. And our responsibility with that is to make sure that that money is distributed to worthy organizations that provide a statewide service. And this year we are making one of our contributions to a very fine organization that has been brought to my attention specifically recently by both Bob Carver and Larry Osborne. And we were to take this opportunity to make a presentation to this Special Olympics. I don't know if Larry or Bob wants to say anything. But at this point, I would like to introduce the former Speaker of the House of the state of Florida, Mr. John Forbes, for a few comments, and then Carl Ferguson would like to make a few comments as well. We'll hear from him, and we'll make a check presentation in the amount of $10,000. Thank you.
The President asked me to confine my remarks to less than 1 hour, and it won't go quite that far. If I go more than 3 minutes, I apologize. Like Senator Latvallo, my relationship with you folks goes back a long, long time. I was fortunate enough to be elected to the Florida legislature back in 1968 and served for 10 years. Right after I got elected, my hometown is here in Jacksonville, a young fellow named Bob Carver came to see me in Tallahassee and said, I want to talk to you about a couple of issues. And that began what is now a 38 or 39-year friendship. But it goes back a lot farther than that, too, now. My daughter is married to a firefighter in Local 122 here. I'm very proud of that. And I have also wanted to tell you this. I have always wanted to be associated with you folks. And one of the things I always wanted to do was to be able to wear a firefighter shirt that had the IFF logo on there. But I never felt appropriate doing that because I wasn't a firefighter. So I'm proud to tell you that as of this morning, Scotty Taylor has presented me with my own firefighter shirt. My name. A number of years ago, I became General Counsel in Florida for Special Olympics. It's a cause that I have learned to be associated with, and love, and respect. And that's how I met this gentleman, Carl Ferguson. His brother, David, who's in the back, is a dear friend of ours from Chattanooga. But during that course of about a year ago, we mentioned in a conversation with Bob Carver that we were having a luncheon to begin some fundraising efforts in the Jacksonville area for Special Olympics. Bob's ears just kind of perked up, eyes lit up, and he said, I'm going to come to that meeting. And he did. And the next meeting he brought on someone bringing his own Larry Osborne along. And I didn't know the purpose of that, of the meaning of that, but it became apparent very soon. Larry Osborne has always been something special to me in terms of a human being, but also as a firefighter. I remember particularly right after the fire in Charleston, where 9 firefighters lost their lives, the passion with which he spoke about why that could have been prevented and should never have happened had they had the same kind of working conditions, work rules, training, etc., that the vast majority of firefighters in Florida get that they never got. That's what he has stood for. And he's also here to say, and I'm here to tell you today, and some of your speakers have alluded to this, there's a certain meanness that's coming across America right now that's uncalled for. It needs to be moved. I can tell you working conditions, workers' rights, things of that nature are not four-letter words. They are opportunities that have been given to our citizens, and they should be guaranteed, and we're going to keep working toward that. But Larry Osborne speaks so highly of that, and when this opportunity came about, it's turned out that your organization is passing a resolution that's going to kind of adopt the Special Olympics as a charity for which you will be supporting on an ongoing basis. This means a lot to a lot of people, and especially, but I'm also here to tell you that it's been agreed to by Special Olympics that for every dollar that goes in from your organization into Special Olympics, and those dollars will be used to fund healthy athletes, young athletes, but every dollar that goes in from now on forward will go through a special fund that will henceforth be named and nominated the Stephen Osborne Fund for Young Athletes.
Representative Forbes makes me cry that I still can't talk, but you know me too well. I'll just say this, some of you, Dominic Barbera in particular, the Metro-Dade City of Miami group that were here at Convention 88 may remember Stephen, many of you know Stephen. That group over there, or their predecessors, some of whom have already left us, gave Stephen in that convention one of the best vacations he ever had. A couple of years later, he went through a couple of strokes. He was a special Olympian, still with us, good kid, and he's a wonderful child. I'll just say this to all of you here. Every time that I think I'm getting old enough to watch young people here and say, well, maybe we'll move back a little bit, you give me something else to be obligated to this group, to remember how good you are. And I'll be saying things at the microphone real later, but I'll tell you something. Karen was in banking all of her career, my wife Karen, and many of you know. And she knows many of you, sisters and brothers alike. And I see some of the sisters over here. Karen knows I look at you still. But she always told me, she said, you know, nobody else in the world working with people like you do. This is what the Florida legislature, by the way, used to be like. That right there got us this close to binding arbitration in the House of Representatives in his freshman year as chairman of the Commerce Committee. John, once again, I can't thank you, and I know the other guy that did this, because nobody else knew his name, very few people, and I know my brother Bob. Thank you all so much, brothers.
Wow. This is a great opportunity for Special Olympics Florida. I want to thank each one of you for voting on the resolution and taking us on as a partner, because we're very excited about this. Not only about the resources that you can bring in dollars, but the resources you have throughout the state that can help us with volunteers for games and competition. Also a program that we have that we've initiated called Healthy Athletes, where we screen our athletes, because the services they get from the medical field is not that good. And sometimes they don't have an opportunity to see a doctor or a nurse or a dentist or an optometrist. So we have a program now. We actually screen our athletes when they come to games and everything. We just screened over 2,000 athletes at our summer games at Disney. And it was unbelievable to watch the amount of volunteers that provided these services to our athletes. We started a program called Young Athletes. Used to, you had to be 8 years of age to participate. Now it goes down to 2 years of age. We bring the athletes and the parents in, and we go through motor skills, and you should see this training. So I hope you get the opportunity to come out and volunteer, look at our programs and everything, and really hold us accountable for what we do with the funding that you provide us. Thank you very much. I look forward to a long relationship with you. Have a great day. Thank you.
Mark's got it right.